Uh, okay, so great. First of all, thanks for taking time to join the session. Hopefully, you learn something in ERPNext today. I'm recording this session and I'll later upload this to YouTube. So the way we are going to do this session is I already have a blog written, which lists all the concepts. I'll follow the same. So I'll start sharing my screen. Hopefully, all of you can see me and also you can hear me well. If there is any issue, please stop me. Cool. So this link, I'll just quickly share it here again. So if you just joined, you can also, if you like, you can open that link or you can look at my screen. Either way, it's fine. Um, I hope you can see my screen now. Can someone please quickly confirm? Great, great. Thanks for pinging. Um, so yeah, in today's session, we'll have a look at how ERPNext is being leveraged by fintech companies, especially the loan management module, and then we'll briefly touch upon another related feature in ERPNext. We won't go into the details, but I'll just give a overview. So yeah, the loan management module in ERPNext allows the entire cycle of loan to be monitored, tracked, analyzed. So starting from a loan application to pledging of collaterals, the actual disbursal of the loan, the repayment, the closure, in terms of interest calculation, penalty calculations, and all of that, the loan management module in ERPNext offers. So first thing is, since loan management is not the typical ERP application, I wanted to cover a few vocabulary or the words which are used in the context of loan management, so that we're all clear on hopefully it becomes much easier once we understand all these vocabulary. So earlier we had to go to the bank, we had to share a few documents and then wait for the approval, etc. But now there is digital lending. It can be done over a mobile app or a browser. um, so first of all, there are lenders and borrowers. So if I, Basavaraj, as an individual, want a loan to buy a car or to buy a home, then I'm a borrower and the lender is the bank, let's say. In India, we have banks, and then we also have what are called as NBFCs, or non-banking financial service providers. They're called as NBFCs, but it could be an individual, as well. And in some special cases, like when a company gives loan to an employee, employee is the borrower and the lender is the company, right? So the one who gives money is the lender, and one who receives the money and has to repay is the borrower. Then comes secured and unsecured loans. So what is secured loan is if I am borrowing, loan to buy a home. Now, if I fail to repay that, and then the bank will take over my home and they'll sell it off, and they have their money, right? So there is some asset that the lender can liquidate, as in sell, and recover the money. So if there is such an asset which is involved in the transaction, then that is a secured loan. But then there is an unsecured loan. For example, there is no asset. You are just hoping that the customer will repay, and then you are giving him a loan, then that is an unsecured loan. So these are just some terms used in lending and borrowing. Okay, then comes pledging and unpledging. Like I was saying, if I go for a home loan, I'm going to actually own the home, but that home will be pledged to the bank. So by pledging, what we mean is if the borrower fails to repay, then the lender has a legal right to liquidate or to sell and then recover his money. Okay, so I I own the asset. The borrower will still own the asset, but if he fails to repay, then and only then the lender will have the legal right to liquidate. That is the process of pledging. Unpledging is once the entire loan is repaid and all the formalities are completed, then the lender will have to let go of that right because he doesn't have any need now. The entire loan has been repaid. So that process is called as unpledging. Then there are a couple of more concepts. One is called as a haircut percentage, and other is the loan to value. So what is a haircut percentage? So let us assume that I am pledging a home which is valued at 1 crore. Can I get full 1 crore loan? Well, maybe not, because the bank would like to safeguard and reduce its risk. So they may say, the home you're buying at 1 crore, but we'll only give you 90 lakhs, 10% less. So that 10% is the haircut. Similarly comes a loan to value. Loan to value, like how much is the value of the asset? It could be home, it could be anything. Divide that by what is the overall loan amount. So if 80 crore is if 80 lakhs is the value of the home, and there's an outstanding 1 crore, then 0.8 is the loan to value ratio. Finally, I'll just stop for questions for after this. There's term loan and demand loan. I think most of you will be familiar with what is called as a term loan, because term loan has a repayment schedule attached to it. If I buy a home, then for the next 10, 15, 20 years, every month I need to pay X amount of money, right? So the entire repayment schedule is agreed upon by both the parties. What is a demand loan is, there is no fixed repayment schedule. The lender will have the right to demand either the entire loan or part of the loan anytime that he wishes. So this kind of loan are probably useful when it takes a while for you to generate some income. Maybe you're opening a business, but for the first 1 year you really can't repay any of it. So maybe you can go for a demand loan, things like that. I'll stop for any questions. Maybe these are completely new terms to you, but it just takes a little bit reading to get familiar. But any questions, please add it in the chat. I'll try and answer them. Cool. I think no questions. So I'll now go ahead with the setting up the loan management module. Okay, so first of all, a lender can ask for different. They can actually lend or pay, the loan based on different kinds of assets. It could be a home, that an example I already took, or it could be a vehicle. A car loan is also very popular. Similarly, gold. If you have some gold, you can go and pledge it, and then get some loan. Or if you have some shares or securities of a company, then you can go ahead and pledge them as well. So there are different companies which specialize in different types of lending. So basically, what we have a couple of, in order to set the loan management module in ERPNext, there are a couple of things we need to do. One is to create the loan security type. This could be gold, this could be shares, it could be anything. And then there's loan type itself, right? I have just taken a screenshot of one of the gold based lender here. So if you see, maybe I can quickly open this. Maybe it's much more clearer now. So this is all based on the gold, but they have different schemes or different loan types. So they are saying, okay, this is the minimum amount. For very small amount, minimum is 1,000, or it could be 1 lakh, or for some really bigger amounts as well you have. And there are different loan tenures as well. For example, if you see these are all 90 days, they expect that the amount be repaid within 90 days, and this one is 180 days. Then there are different interest rates. There are different borrower category as well. The one with the right credit score will probably get it at a lower interest rate. So basically, the underlying asset is the same, but depending on the duration or the rate of interest or the borrower category, there are different loans. And then we also have one more doc type where we basically track what is the price of the loan security. For example, I have just attached a screenshot of how the value of 10 grams of gold varies on day-to-day basis in the market. You will see some peaks here, then it has crashed here, and then it has recovered. So you have pledged, let's say, 10 grams of gold, but what is the value of that gold? Well, that really depends on the market. It could be high, it could come down. So these are some of the doc types we need to set. Now I log into the system. So the loan module is inbuilt. You don't have to install it as an app or anything. I just created this instance on Trape Cloud an hour ago, and you will see that okay, now there is loans as a module, as a standard module here in ERPNext. Now, first we'll go to loan security type. Like I was mentioning, valuable metals, which is like gold or silver, etc. So I have created a loan security type, and then I said unit of measure is gram and haircut. So this is what I was saying. If the value of the gold is 5,000 rupees, well, maybe the bank doesn't like to give you the full 5,000 rupees. They would like to safeguard just in case it crashes. Similarly, loan to value ratio, this is also to kind of understand and reduce the risk. So they'd always like to maintain at a 90%, as in if the underlying asset is worth 1,000 rupees, then the bank always wants to make sure they have only loaned either 900 rupees or less. Anytime that crosses, they may ask you for some additional pledging of the asset. You may have to pledge some additional gold, or you have to repay, right? That is the LTV, or the loan to value ratio. So first what we need to do is set up the loan security type. So here I have taken valuable metals. It could be property, it could be shares, it could be anything. Once we set up the loan security type, let's go to loan type. So I have created a, loan type called as gold loan. I have linked it to the loan security type, and then I have given some details here, like what is the maximum loan amount. Against gold, I always want to give maximum of 1 lakh rupee. This is the yearly rate of interest, that is 24%. And then if there is any delay in the repayment, then this is the per day percentage rate I would like to charge the customer. Then there's the grace period in days. So I'm supposed to pay on the first of every month, but maybe I'll give him 5 days of grace period. Anything more than this, I'll start charging the penalty. Auto write-off amount, sometimes because of rounding off and etc. There are some very minor amount remaining, and we kind of want to automatically write it off. So yeah, and also I'll mark this as a term loan, as in I want the repayment to be the repayment schedule to be generated. So these are some of the example. Then there are some ledgers we need to link here. For example, whatever is the interest that the system is going to calculate, that will come under this income account. Any penalty that we're going to charge, that will come in this ledger. And then there are some, what is the bank account, what is the default mode of payment, etc., etc. So this, and then I also have the loan security price. So I said, okay, this is the loan security gold, and then this is the price, 4,700 rupee, and then there's a validity date as well. So system will consider this price between these two, this time period basically. Okay, so these are the three doc types we need to set up before we start the loan application process. At this stage, I would also like to quickly go to the chart of accounts. And so I'm starting with a brand new instance. I just have one journal entry, and in the journal entry I have basically this is the investment that I have received. So at this stage, this is the company I have set up, which is into gold lending, lending on gold. And there's just one journal entry in the system, and it says okay, I have 10 lakh rupee in the bank, and I have 10 lakh rupee which is I have to repay to the investor, and there are no other entries. I have also created a few ledger under the assets. I have created a couple of, one is the loan account. This will reflect how much loan we have paid, how much is in the market, like how much amount we have given to people as the loan, and this is how much we have received from them. These are the two ledgers. I have created them under the loan accounts, which is a group I have created under the assets. So this is the setup you need to do in the chart of accounts. So once and couple of more ledgers, just go under income and create at least one for the interest that we're going to earn, and other is for the any penalty that we're going to charge. So this is the chart of account setup. So set up the three doc types and then set up the ledgers in the chart of accounts. So this is about the setting up the the loan module. Maybe in reality, there will be a lot more ledgers here. Maybe, on different scheme you want to create some ledgers. Maybe there are different income, like you want to, per scheme you want to create different income ledgers, but this is the most simplified setup. Cool. So before I go ahead with the loan cycle or the loan process, if any questions related to the chart of setting up the chart of accounts, or the master data setup, please type it here in the chat. I'll try and answer them. Yeah, so didn't get what is meant by haircut percentage, right? So let us assume that as of today, so what we have done is, if I see loan security price, right? So 4,700 rupee is the price of 1 gram of gold as of today. Now, if someone pledges, if a customer comes and he says, okay, here is 1 gram of gold, give me loan against it, we shouldn't give the full 4,700 rupees against that. Because what if I give him 4,700 rupees as loan, he gives me 1 gram of gold, but tomorrow the price of the gold is only 4,500 rupees, and the customer doesn't repay the loan. So now I'll basically have to incur loss of 200 rupees, right? So what we want to do is, we want to always reduce the value, even though in the market it is 4,700 rupees. Maybe we want to always grant 10% less than that. Okay, we will see this. Maybe let me go ahead and jump one step ahead, just to make it clear. I have a customer here. Loan type is gold loan. So I'm saying I want gold 1 gram, right? So if you see here, 4,700 rupees is the value of 1 gram of gold, but the system says maximum loan amount. Against the this 1 gram of gold, we can only give 4,230 rupee maximum. Why? Because we have applied 10% haircut on this. So if I take 4,700 rupees, and do 0.9, right? 4,200. So we basically want to reduce, even though the valuation of the gold is at 4,700 rupee, we want to take 10% less. The maximum amount we want to pay is only the 90%. Okay, and this calculation is coming from the haircut percentage. We have mentioned it in the loan security type. Hope that answers your question. Adil Usman, I actually don't fully understand your question, but maybe you can hold till the end of the session, and I can fully understand your question and answer. Or alternatively, you can just go to the blog and please post your question. I'll try to answer. But make sure that you give me as much context and details as possible. Uh, cool. So now we have understood few. We have learned a few words, vocabulary. We have set up the chart of accounts. We have set up three doc types. So now let's go ahead and create the loan application. I'm already there, but just to start from beginning. So I'll go and create a loan application. Right. Okay, so as you know, ERPNext is actually integrated with the HR module. So you can use the exact same module to manage the loan that you are giving to your employees as well. Or you can, if you are into lending, you can always choose a customer. So I have gone to the loan application, chosen the applicant type as customer, and now I'll choose an applicant. So this is the usual customer profile creation process. I've already done that. Now, what is the loan type? I'll say gold loan. Typically, what happens, especially in micro lending, you know, so there's a loan amount that I need to mention here. Or what I could do is, I'll say this is a secured loan. I'll go ahead and select my loan security. I'll say gold. How much gold customer has, because sometimes it's like an ornament. They don't have 1 or 2 gram, they have like 5 gram, 10 gram, things like that. So I'll say customer has 10 grams of gold, right? And depending on the two doc types, one is what is the current loan security price we have set, 4,700 rupees, and other is the haircut. It will say, okay, the maximum loan we can give to the customer is 42,300 rupees. Now let's say, the customer only wants 40,000 rupees. So I'll go ahead and enter the amount here. So I'm creating the loan application. I've selected the customer. I've set it to the secure loan, and then this is the loan security, and this is the price. We have set up all of this in the master data, and I'll go ahead and save this now. Yeah, so the other thing is the repayment information. So there are two different ways. One, the customer will say, I can only pay 4,000 rupee per month. In that case, we will choose repay a fixed amount, which is 4,000 rupee per period, right, per month. And then we can say 4,000 rupees. And then the system will calculate the uh, repayment schedule basically. Give me 1 second. Sorry, the repayment schedule comes in the loan, not in the loan application. So basically what we have said now is the customer can only pay 4,000 rupee per month, and we have entered that monthly repayment amount here. Um, Great. So let's go ahead. This is the loan application. Right now it is open. So maybe you won't be creating this loan application manually. This will all come through some maybe you can build a custom front end in your website, and then through an API you will push this. Now you will obviously, if the customer has a PAN number or some sort of identification, you will run the credit check, and if the everything looks good, you will go ahead and then approve this. So now the loan application is approved. So let's go ahead and ask the customer to actually physically hand over the gold. So at this stage, that is when we go ahead and click on create loan security pledge. So now we have the physical possession of the gold. I'll go back, and then we will say, okay, everything looks good. Typically they'll check the quality of the gold, etc. And then everything looks good. I'll go ahead and create the actual loan record here. Yeah, so other important thing is, when will the customer start paying the loan? So I'll say, today is already 30th of June, last day. So maybe I'll say he'll start paying from 1st of August. Click on save, and yeah, so now this is where you will see. I said total, the customer can only pay 4,000 rupee. So now the system has basically generated, okay, he'll pay 4,000 every month, and the last month he'll pay, okay, whatever is the balance, right? So the system has also calculated some interest payable based on the rate of interest we have set. Cool. So let's go ahead and submit this. So this is all done. The next step is to actually pay the 40,000 amount to the customer. So I'll go ahead and submit this. So this is when our actual accounting ledger gets updated. We had set my bank account as the disbursal account, so that is reduced. Loan account, which is our asset, is now set to 40,000 rupees. Okay, so just a quick recap. So we created the loan application. It was in the open status, and then we did whatever is our process, and then we approved it. Once the loan application is approved, we ask the customer to hand over the pledged asset, which is gold, and we created the loan security pledge. After that, we created the loan record, and finally, once that is done, we created the loan disbursement. So these are all the different steps needed, because different departments are involved, in this process, or at least different people are involved. So that's why we have a loan application, and it's verified and approved by somebody. And then the loan security pledge, because maybe there's a different department which will take possession of the gold and check the quality, etc. And then there's a loan officer who will actually create the loan record, and then it goes to the treasury, and they'll create the loan dispersal. Okay, so now let us also look at the same story through the chart of account. So at this stage, you will see if I go to assets, I have 9,60,000 rupees remaining because 40,000 rupee was in my bank account, and that has reduced by 40,000 because we have disbursed the amount. At the same time, if I go to the um, not current asset, loan accounts, I'll see that okay, no, 40,000 rupee is the loan that I have paid. It is recognized as an asset, and we will see okay, that is what reflects. So at this stage, some adjustments have happened. Our cash or the bank balance has reduced, but the whatever is the balance that will start reflecting in the loan account. Okay, so now what we'll do, okay, we have paid, we have processed the loan application, we have granted the amount. Now basically the interest will start accumulating. I'll just come back to the blog, and we have done all of this. We have basically done till the loan dispersal now. So the first three steps in the process are one is the loan application, second is the pledging of the security, third is creating the loan record, and fourth is the actual loan dispersal. So now, okay, I hope it is clear. Any questions? Where are you maintaining the UOM for the quantity? I think it is in the loan security type, if I'm correct. Valuable metals. Yeah, you will see here in the gram. But I also think you can probably overwrite in the loan, not loan, in the loan type. If I go to gold loan, I should see. Okay, so no, it's actually just in the loan security type. Hope that answers your question. Great, cool. So now, so what happens actually, you have a link here as well if you want to see. Once we have done the loan dispersal, this is hooks.py, and here you will see that on a daily basis, a job is run in the backend, and that will actually keep calculating the interest. But what we could also do is not wait for the job. At least we definitely, there are some cases where you need to manually process the interest, or at least for me in the demo I need to do. So I'll go ahead and create process loan interest accrual. So whatever the job does, we can also manually trigger it via this doc type, process loan interest accrual. Before I do that, let me also open the loan record. Let's hit the one. So now what should happen is on 1st of August, the customer should come back and pay us this amount. And this is the payment date. So let us process as of that date. Uh, I'll say as of this date, we can either process the interest, trigger the calculation of interest for all the loans, or all the loans of a specific type, or one specific loan as well. So here I'll go ahead and select three. I'll say the dispersal has already happened. Only if the dispersal has happened, the interest will be calculated. So let me go ahead and submit this. Okay, so now we can see as of 1st of August, system has calculated the interest. So it says 800 rupees the interest. I think we paid 4,000 rupee, sorry, 40,000 rupee as the loan amount, and we said 24% is our yearly interest rate, so that is 2% per month. That's how I think the amount 800 rupees calculated. Right, so now what we can do is go ahead and create the loan repayment. So let's assume that on 1st of August the customer is paying the amount 4,000 rupees. So I'll go ahead and create the loan repayment. Right, so here I'll change the date to 1st of August, and I'll say 4,000 rupees the amount paid. Let me go ahead and save this, and then I'll submit. Cool. So now onwards, what would happen is for the next 12 months, the customer would simply keep, repaying this amount every month, 4,000 rupees. Right. So we'll see in the loan, we can just go and quickly check how much is the total amount that has been paid. Cool. So this will happen, keep happening for the next 12 months. And at this stage, what we can also do is, we can try and request the customer can, if you have built a portal, or we can try to manually request, but it will say, okay, still 36,800 rupees pending, and until and unless all of that amount is paid, we cannot close the loan. There are a couple of more things, maybe the customer will repay some amount, and then he'll come back and say, I need some top up loan, for whatever reason. So you will still be able to create that. And then, okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and try to just, so for whatever reason the customer wants to pre-close the loan, and go ahead and create that loan repayment as of he pays one EMI, and then he says, like, I'll just close it. And then we'll say 36,800. In real world, probably you'll just keep repaying over the 12 months. This should be all right. So I'll go ahead and create the loan repayment. Okay, I have no clue what this error is. Let me. Okay, where is get first day? Okay, maybe this is somehow related to the date, I guess. Let me see. Okay, I have no clue what the error is. It must be somehow related to the date, I guess. 0208 must be okay. So what I'll quickly do is create a new loan application. Yeah, so last time I think I tried repay fixed amount, that is 4,000 rupee per period. Now let me try the other method, which is I'll say I want to pay it off in 12 equal EMIs. I'll go ahead and submit this. Go ahead and approve. I'll say loan security pledge. This is the loan security pledge. I'll come back, create loan. This is the loan record. So I'm doing one more loan for 40,000 rupees. Come back. Disbursement is already done. So I'll go ahead and create the repayment. Total payment is 3,783. So these are the equal amounts over 12 months. 3783. So I'll say 3783. Okay, I'll also have to process is already disbursed, so I should be able to process the interest. So if you are a developer, maybe you will now know it's very important to write proper error messages. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to create the repayment 3783. Because I processed as of 0108. So let me go ahead. Maybe this time 3783. Okay, I have it worked this time. So maybe there's some bug that needs to be fixed. So anyway, so now what will happen is it will go on repaying the amount. Uh, Maybe what I'll do now is I'll see okay how much is the pending amount and try to close. So I'll try to close this. So let's say I'm trying to repay the whole amount. So I'll say so I have to pay 37,017. I'll say just 37,000. Okay, great. So now we have repaid the whole amount. I'll now ask for closure. Okay, so now you will see the loan closure has been requested, right? So now I should be able to create the loan security unpledge. So if there is any amount, short amount less than 100 rupees, sorry, any amount, then we can write it off as well. Or if the customer has paid some extra amount, then we can also refund that. So I'll go ahead and create the loan security unpledge. So this is when we actually hand over the physical gold back to the customer. That is the unpledge, right? It has been requested, and then somebody collects it. They'll say, okay, that has been approved. So I'll come back and I'll just reload this. So now basically our loan cycle is complete. So this is the whole process of the loan management. So we start with the application, we collect the asset and as a process of pledging, then we create a loan record, then we disperse it, and then we start there's a job that will keep running every day and post the the interest. So it doesn't calculate on daily basis. So in the loan, when the loan repayment schedule is generated, we have some different dates there. So if it is on that day, it will basically calculate for the whole month. And then we'll keep creating loan repayment records as and when we receive the payments. And once loan, the entire amount is repaid, the customer can request for the closure, or someone can request for the closure, and then they'll unpledge and then close the loan. So this is the usual record. So yeah, if any questions, you can ping me here. I'll try and answer them. If not, I'll go for one case which is related to the LTV, right? So what I'll do now is create one more loan application. You are right, and the system did actually show that okay, no, you cannot close it. Maybe I'll show it again if you missed that part. same customer will go, and everything remains same. It is a term loan, and let me say it is a secured loan as well, and I'll say gold. That's what we are getting as a pledge. And I'll just, to keep it simple, I'll take one 4,700 rupee, and we can maximum give is 4,230, and I'll take 4,000 rupee as the loan amount. So I will go ahead and save this repayment method. What should I pick? Maybe monthly payment is this. So I'll go ahead and submit this. So we have already done this. We have done it again now. This is the loan application, and we will approve it, right? Once this is done, we can request for the security pledge, and we will go back. Once that activity is done, we will create the loan. Yeah, the repayment start date will be, let's say, 1st of August. Okay, so it is sanctioned, and now we will disperse it as well. This is when we actually pay or transfer the amount back to the customer's account. All done. Okay, so now let us assume that, we said that we wanted to maintain a certain LTV, right? Loan security type. If I go here, so I said I want to maintain a ratio of 90%. So what it, just a quick recap, what it means is you never want to be in a situation where you have paid the outstanding loan, the principal amount that has to come from the customer is more than 90% of what he has pledged, right? So if the value of the gold is 1,000 rupee, we never want to be in a situation where the outstanding loan is more than 1,000 rupee. Definitely not. Not just that, but we actually always want to have that 10% safety, right? Now I want to show you an event. Now this is the loan application that has been approved. Disbursement is also done. Now at this stage, what has happened is the loan amount is 4,000 rupee, right? And we have 1 gram of gold. Let me go back to the pledge. So we have 1 gram of gold which belongs to the customer, and that is valued at the 4,700 rupee. So at this stage, if I do 4,000 is our loan amount, and 4,700 is the sorry, I think I need to do it the, yeah, so 85%, right? 4,700 0.85. So what I'll do is create a new loan security price. Okay, but let us assume that for whatever reason the value of the gold suddenly crashed. Okay, it crashed to just 2,000 rupees. So today morning we processed the loan, we took the gold and we gave him the amount, but now in the afternoon, let us assume that the amount for whatever reason has crashed to 2,000 rupees. Valid up to, I'll go ahead and say 23 till the end of the day. 2,000 is the new yeah, okay, so what I need to do is there's some overlapping, so I'll say now the existing 4,700 was value till this moment. Now I'll try to create a new one. This is basically till the end of the day. Okay, great. So what happened is we assumed, okay, the value, the value was 4,700 rupee, and we gave him loan of 4,000, but now the value has crashed to 2,000 rupee. So the value of the 1 gram gold we have is now 2000 rupees, and the loan amount is 4000, which is not good. So now what we need to do is we have to tell the customer that he has two options. Either he can give us an additional gold, so that if he doesn't repay, we can sell that gold at 2000 rupees and recover the full amount, or he has to repay the whatever is the difference. So for this, we have a job that runs every day just to keep validating the LTV, or we also have process loan security shortfall. So I'll say at this moment, go ahead and check whether the LTV is less than 90 or not. Save and submit. Okay, so we have a couple of shortfalls. Uh, Let me go ahead and open this. Yeah, so this was related to the latest loan for 4000 rupee I did. So the loan amount is 4000 rupee. The security value 1 gram of gold is 2000, and the difference is uh, 2200 rupees. I think this is with the haircut that we need to apply, right? So at this stage, what the customer need to do is either pay this amount, 2200 rupees, or he has to give us extra loan as a collateral. So I will say one more record here, and yeah. So let us assume that we give he has only 1 more gram, but that won't be enough. So I'll say 2 grams. Right, so this is pledged. So I'll come back here and then I'll reload. Right, so now it is completed. So basically this is to reduce the risk. If the value of the underlying asset, the pledged asset, changes, we always will keep running the job and making sure that we are never at a risk where even if we liquidate the whole collateral, we still can't recover the full amount. We never want to be in that situation. So this is just the validation that will keep happening. Okay, so other than this, so maybe I'm not sure like how easy it is to understand the whole thing if you have no clue on how the whole loan cycle runs. But anyway, this is what it is now. Loan repayment and all of shortfall, and there are a couple of reports that will help you monitor how you're doing in terms of um, the latest repayments and closures that have happened, or what is the loan security status, etc., etc. Cool. So, any questions? Please put it in the chat. Um, is it possible to include the loan installment amount in the deduction of salary? Yeah, I think so. You'll have to test it out once. I expect, knowing ERPNext, I expect it to somehow happen automatically. If you have tried, it's not happening. I'm not sure what's wrong there. Uh, any more questions on the loan, management, loan, security, the master data setup, etc., etc. Okay, one more thing I want to show is if I quickly go to the chart of accounts, we will see that there is some income. Yeah, so like I said, there is some every time we process the interest that will get go on accumulating. So this is the actual income account. So if I go to the profit and loss statement, I should see that as my profit. Yeah, so this is my income. There's some expense, so yeah, this is the profit. Okay, so you'll have to, if you're new to the loan management module, you have to get familiar with some basic vocabulary and then run the whole cycle a couple of times. There are a few check boxes that you should know, especially when you go to the new loan application. There is this checkbox called as a term loan. So check that if you would like to generate the repayment schedule. I missed that couple of times. Let me, yeah, this one. Uh, Sorry, the is secured loan. If you want to manage the whole pledging and pledging, and also you have to approve it once the loan application is done, and also once the loan is created, create the loan disbursement and then process the interest. So if you don't create the loan disbursement, then the interest won't be calculated. Okay, so if no more questions, I'll quickly try and cover one more concept. I don't have a demo of that. So now we have basically shown you, if you are the lender, if you are the lending company, how do you set up the chart of accounts? How do you create loan applications, and how do you manage the disbursement and the repayment, all of that. Now let us switch the table. Now let us assume that you are a technology startup and you are growing really fast. And let us assume that you are manufacturing, electric vehicles. So any fast growing company will face one problem, which is the working capital. You need to buy some material, and then you have to manufacture it, and then you have to sell it, right? So there is some time involved between when you have to pay to your supplier and take the time to process it, then pay to the customer, and when customer will pay you, right? That is the working capital you need. But if you're growing fast, you won't have enough money, because whatever the money is coming from the customer, all of that is going to the supplier. But you need to keep buying more raw material, right? That is just one case where you need more working capital. If you have, maybe some asset, you can pledge it, like I showed you. That's how the pledging and unpledging process works. But if you run out of all those options, there is an interesting finance mechanism. So typically, there's payment terms associated with B2B businesses. Like when your customer buys a product from you, he will tell you he'll pay after 60 days or after 90 days. So you'll have to keep waiting for those 60 days and then get the money, and then pay to your supplier, and your supplier may not agree to it, right? So invoice discounting is a process where what you do is you raise an invoice to the customer, and then you have to wait for 60 or 90 days or maybe more, and then you go to the bank and you pledge that invoice as an collateral. So you tell him, look, I have an invoice and the customer will pay, but I can't wait for 60 days. Can you take this invoice and pay me some, keep that as collateral, and then give me the amount. And then some lenders do that. They'll take that as a pledge, and then give you loan. And as and when the money come from the customer, the unpledging will happen, and so you can basically use it as a short-term finance mechanism. And ERPNext offers the whole, invoice discounting. You can set up the whole cycle and use it. I think it is somewhere in the accounting. Yeah, so you will see this. So there are some companies that do it. They take the invoices from companies and then provide some finance based on that. Those companies also can use this module in or sub module in ERPNext to manage their invoice discounting business. Okay, so that is all I had for today. Hope you got to learn a few concepts, and this also stands as an example of how you can use ERPNext and build something on top of it. Because ERPNext uses the chart of accounts, the whole GL posting, and the entire thing around it. So all you need to do is create some transactions. Like how we have loan application, you can quickly create those doc types and write some code, and you can have something on your hand much sooner than if you had to rebuild everything from the start. So yeah, a lot of fintech companies that hopefully will start to leverage ERPNext to build modules on top of the ERPNext. Cool, guys. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer. You can also post it on the blog. I'll try to answer it. And one more thing is, I have a few projects on my hand, not related to fintech, but these are like manufacturing and distribution. So if I'm looking for partners either to join me full time as an employee, or some sort of partnership where we can jointly deliver some project. So if you are an experienced ERPNext consultant, and if you have some time, ping me, get me on in touch on the LinkedIn. I'm happy to talk to you guys more, and we can do some projects together. In term, I think Tarek is asking about reports. So let me quickly go to the where is loan? Yeah. So there are two. One talks about the status. This just tells you whether something is pledged or unpledged. Like here you have what is the status of this, right? And these are the different pledge requests. And the other one is yeah. So what are the latest repayments or closures that happened? So you will see here. These are some of the loan repayments that I did. These are a couple of reports, but I think you can also build some more reports, either query reports or script reports, etc. On top of it. Cool, everyone. So it's very cloudy here suddenly. I don't know why. But anyway, thanks for taking time, and I'll upload this on YouTube. I'll share it on LinkedIn. You can watch it. And yeah, thanks. Have a good day, guys. Bye.